Hi there, and tonight is probably going to be a fairly short video. I said that last time, but I'm pretty sure it is tonight. Anyway, so there's a few things to talk about. Big movie remake news came out today. Something that you guys know. Um, it's something I'm going to want to talk about. Uh, I'm going to talk a bit about my reaction towards that. I got Vinegar Syndrome July 2019 announcements to talk about because they announced what four are coming out for July. Uh, that's kind of interesting as well. And I actually picked up a couple things today, which I didn't think I was going to do, but I had squirreled away some change and I was in town. I was stuck at the mall for like around, hey, Stoker, for around like 3.5, 4 hours. And I would keep going in and out of Best Buy. And there wasn't, hey, Livins. And I kept going through there. Hey, B movie. I kept going through there and I kept like looking at a couple things, but nothing really caught my eye. But I knew I wanted to get something like there was a lot of 4K there, and it was fairly inexpensive. So I looked at one, and I hadn't seen it in the wild, at least not with the slip cover and stuff. So anybody that's seen my Instagram, they know, or my Facebook or my Twitter, they know exactly what I'm talking about. So I was leaning towards that. So I went on to Twitter, and I felt well. Actually, at first I went around one more time because I had a lot of time to spend, and I found another movie that I knew was out on 4K, and it had its slip, but the slip was kind of more normal. So I went on Twitter and I asked people, "Hey, Stack, how's it going, man?" I asked people like, which one should I pick up? And it was pretty like the sexy slips, man. It was pretty overwhelming in a certain direction. But then one person came in and great movie, and said to me, you know, I know this movie is better, but I haven't seen that movie with that slip showing up very often, uh, especially nowadays. He said maybe it's more in Canada that you see it, but I really don't. And I went back to think of it every time that I've seen that one, and it's never had the slip. So on the off chance that I order it from Amazon or something like that, and I get it, and it's like slip free type thing, I said I'm gonna get it. I had to grab it, so I grabbed it. My better half came. Like she was looking around the body shop, with the creams and stuff like that, and I was like, I was choosing between those two, and she was like, well, why didn't you pick them both up? And I was like, nothing else had to be said. I went back to Best Buy. I was going to say Future Shop because I miss Future Shop. And I picked up the other one. So I'll show you what I picked up. Then we'll talk about the news. And we'll get into the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. So we'll compartmentalize it. So the first thing that I grabbed right away is I picked up Alien on 4K, which does have a really cool slipcover. This is the 40th anniversary edition. Alien already looks good on Blu-ray, so it's going to be interesting to see what they've done on 4K. I think it's got the same like audio track, because actually when I first looked at this, I thought it was Venom, but but it has a 1979 theatrical edition of it on here, and it has the 2003 director's cut as well. So you got two audio commentaries: the director Ridley Scott cast and crew commentary, and the theatrical version commentary, which I think was on the Laserdisc before. Introduction by Ridley Scott, it's around 4 minutes long, and there's an isolated theatrical score here, and there's a composer's original isolated score as well. So that's kind of cool, and some deleted and extended scenes. So I haven't opened it up yet. As you can see, it's still in its case. Opening up of like 4Ks are usually pretty simple. It's like just it's not like it's gonna have a booklet or anything in here. But I really like the look of it. I kind of waffled back and forth for the reason of that, this is probably going to get like an Alien box set down the road, but I wanted to watch this in the very near future. So that's kind of what happened there. And that way my kids will be able to watch it too, because I'll send them the digital copy of it. And Alien, unlike Aliens, is an actual horror film, like a slasher film in space, pretty much. You all know that. You've all seen it. So what was the second one? What was the one that didn't get very many votes, but I had to grab? And that's this one right, Scott, this one right here. So I want you to really take a good look at how well this slipcover really, really looks. Aspect ratio, let me see if it says here. I don't know if it says, but when I find out, I'll let you know. Unless you want to Google it. So this kind of blew me away. Because this is all this here, all this kind of like silver, kind of like pencilized art here. This is all like raised. It feels kind of scratchy. So only this here, like this is, you know, you got the rays with the Dracula, and you get the. And to be completely honest, when I first saw this movie in like theater, I didn't like it. I didn't like it very much at all. I liked the beginning. I liked the idea of Dracula being, you know, kind of being cursed. After, you know, seeing his love die after coming back in the church and like kind of the sacrament type thing. I like that. A lot of people didn't. I actually really like that. But when I went to the theater when this came out, like on an opening night, and it started off with this like kind of like the battle thing with kind of like this the stick figure, kind of like art. I guess now becomes more of an artsy type of thing. But I was kind of like, what the hell? Now, over the years, I've grown to like this a lot more than I used to. Still not my favorite Dracula, but it's one that I'm glad that I own. Oh, hey! Haven't seen it? It's not bad. It's not as bad as a lot of people put it out to be. There are some really good special effects here. People will always rag on Keanu Reeves, who in reality is probably one of the nicest guys in the world, especially for actors you're ever going to meet. But for his like his his English accent, that type of thing. But really, he's not the issue. His part isn't like I don't consider his part huge enough for that issue. When I first saw this movie, my problem was Anthony Hopkins, because Anthony Hopkins goes. People always talk about Nicolas Cage, and going, yeah, that's Winona Ryder's in it. She's the star. People always talk about Nicolas Cage for going like super crazy and going as they call full Cage. Even Nicolas Cage will say, "So you want me to go full Cage in this film, right?" Anthony Hopkins goes full Hopkins in this film. He's chewing up the scenery like crazy. He's the, oh God, I guess the main, protagonist. Full Cage. See, Nicolas Cage has said that in films when they said, we really want you to really go for it, and he said like, you want me to go full Cage? People think he doesn't know, but he knows exactly what he is. So Anthony Hopkins is like this. He's nuts in this film. Van Helsing is Van Helsing is kind of nuts in this film. It's got some of the most beautiful actresses and some of the most stunning set work that you're ever going to see in any of these type of films. And this is hands down one of the best looking slipcovers I have ever held in my hand. Like as a regular slipcover. It's not, we're not talking Vincent stuff, but we're talking about for regular slipcovers, that is one of the best I've ever seen. This looks nice too, like on its own, but I would have been really disappointed if I'd ordered this from Amazon and it came like this and I knew that this was out there. Hey Trini, because when you rub your finger along this, it's like you almost feel like little silver sparklets are going to come off in your hand. And To be honest, I really want to watch this movie again. I actually do not own this movie on DVD or on Blu-ray or VHS or anything. So this is my first time owning the film. I remember when the movie came out, I was in college. This is my sister's, one of my sister's favorite Dracula films. Basically, and it makes sense because she was a teenager. This was the first one she saw. I've got a prevalence too for the John Badham 1979 Dracula. And a lot of people don't like that one either. But now if you get this, there's the Blu-ray and 4K of it. If you are ever thinking about going 4K, this here was $19. Hey Bears. Somehow, Kubrick lover, I figured you would be a fan of this film. Maybe you're not, but I just had the feeling that you would be. Really? It's got that artsy style and a bit of that sophistication that I thought you would definitely appreciate. I haven't seen your Vinegar Syndrome. You got a Vinegar Syndrome Hall. Thank you. Okay. I love Vinegar Syndrome Hall videos. If anybody has a Vinegar Syndrome Hall video, please let me know. I'll definitely watch that right after this because I love Hall videos. So yeah, make sure guys that you check out Reddy's Vinegar Syndrome Hall video because one, Reddy's a great YouTuber, and Vinegar Syndrome guys, got to give that some love. So when you're over there, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Same with all the other guys here, like Kubrick Lover. Make sure you're subscribed to those guys. If you got a channel or a website that you want to promote, always feel free to either put it in the comment section, as it scrolls through, or in the comment section down below, because that comment section down below, that stays there. But yeah, this is gorgeous. Again, audio commentary with Francis Ford Coppola, interviews with Coppola and Roman Coppola, Francis Ford Coppola and Roman Coppola, deleted extended scenes, and there's more. There's a few different interviews on here with different people, and some of these are pretty much supposed to be huge deals. Hold on a second. I'm not going anywhere, just hold on. So, there was an announcement made. And I think we're going to know what I'm going to talk about next. Oh yeah, it's directed by Francis Ford Coppola. It's called Bram Stoker's Dracula. Devil's Honey. Let me know when you watch it. It's a really good one. Oh, my better half ordered something online, and hey Wolf, it got hit with customs. It's only something small like clothing and stuff, but I got hit with a $42 custom charge. I got to go pay that tomorrow actually, so I can pick up her thing. So, if you noticed, Blumhouse made an announcement. Are we all familiar with the Blumhouse announcement by now? So 2019, this year, this Christmas, Black Christmas, the new movie, the new Black Christmas, a remake of the original 1974 classic, is being done. It is being directed. Actually, what's her name again? I think it's Sophia Takal, and she's done a lot of stuff. A lot of people may remember her actually from being in the creepiest part of VHS. If you remember the movie VHS, it's one of those anthology films. They did 3 of them. Third one sucks. One, it'll probably be an R-rated film. Um, Two, I don't have a problem with PG-13 rated horror films. There's a lot of really good ones. Um, that and a lot of the horror films that got rated R, to be totally honest with you, in the first place, back in the 80s, would never get rated R today. Um, or they'd have to do, or a lot of horror films actually went out of their way to get rated R. Uh, Especially if it was like the slasher genre or something like that, they usually put in a curse word or a nude scene to get the R rating because maybe the gore or the other stuff didn't like push it over the edge. There's actually a scene in Student Bodies which is great actually, and it epitomizes that time period. And it says, because we wanted to get an R rating, I want to take this time to say F you. Um, People assume that R ratings are going to help like horror movies, do better. And for some it does. And some studios think, if we can skirt it between the R to the PG-13, but I don't see, but here's the difference. When a movie is PG-13, just to be PG-13, just to get, the younger audience, and it's taking stuff away, right? From the film. Like things are being taken out of the film to get to that. I understand that. But if the screenwriter goes in and writes the story, and that story isn't an R, I don't want him to put stuff in there just to make it an R, because that's not real. That's not legit. Then you're adding like, you bake the perfect cake. It looks great. You got it iced, all the icing and all that stuff. But you're like, no, let's put a little bit more on it. Let's just add a bit more there, just to be sure. No, you got the perfect cake. That's okay. So our PG-13, that doesn't matter. What matters to me is that the story is good. Now, Black Christmas, as you guys know, because this is my favorite movie, not my favorite horror movie, not my favorite slasher film. This is my personal favorite film of all time. This is my Citizen Kane. Not just as a film fan, but a guy that like studies film, that loves film. There's a lot to love about Black Christmas. A lot, from like the camera work to the minimalistic score, to the way that the characters were done. Yeah, exactly. So it is. It's a classic. There's the cinematography in Black Christmas was revolutionary for its day. People don't realize now exactly how much. There's been a lot of things, a lot of movies that have pulled from this. Movies like Halloween, like other films that were kind of pulled from that pulled things from Black Christmas. But then we got this in 2006. We got Black Xmas. Now, Black Xmas was directed by Glenn Morgan. Glenn Morgan, most people knew in the day from, well, X-Files. He directed a lot of X-Files. He wrote quite a few episodes of this. But before he did this film, he had made another film that he poured his heart into. I think more than likely Bob Clark, well, what it was that John Carpenter knew Bob Clark's idea. If he would have done a sequel, he didn't do a sequel to Black Christmas. If he was going to do one, it was pretty much he's going to escape during the holiday, probably, like Halloween or something like that. But John Carpenter took the base of that idea and made his own thing, like, the Babysitter Murders. So, John Carpenter had a lot of like inspiration from Black Christmas, but he never really like took like Bob Clark's idea. It was really like John Carpenter's own. But yeah, there was definitely a basis in like there was a genesis with Clark. So in 2006, after making the movie Willard, Glenn Morgan went on to do Black Xmas. Now here's one thing that I got to say right now. It's not a great film. It's a good like MST3K kind of fun, cheesy, slashery style film. But there's a reason that it's not a good film. And it's not just because the guy's yellow, which and the backstory is kind of iffy, and the last half kind of falls apart in the hospital. But then my personal opinion. The reason is that Glenn Morgan was shaken after making Willard. It did not go the way that he wanted to. That was not the experience that he wanted to have. So when he went in to start making Black Xmas, he was not in a good place. There was studio interference. I actually really like the Willard remake. I think it's the best thing Glenn Morgan ever did. I actually like the song Ben, that's sung by Crispin Glover. But you can tell when you watch Black Xmas that there's shines. There's like shining moments where like, okay, this could be really good. This could be excellent. If the guy that's directing the film felt strong about what he's doing, like was a steady hand behind the camera. And if you like watch like the behind the scenes and all that type of stuff, you can tell he's not a confident guy at this point. He's not feeling it. Bob Clark passed away before the movie Black Xmas could be released. I'm kind of glad about that. Now, I do think that Glenn Morgan had used like some aspects of what Bob Clark had, probably written up in his notes. Yep, originally. That's the love song for a rat, man. And that was done by Michael Jackson back for the original band back in the day. Actually, I remember those films. So now, how do I feel about the Blumhouse release? Well, Blumhouse just they rebooted, started from Halloween to Halloween. And that went really well. Actually, Blumhouse normally delivers. Like, really delivers. I mean, sure, there's things like Truth or Dare that I kind of suspect is Blumhouse's kind of like little like teen fodder that they put out there. Because what they'll do is they'll take a script that they know is not really good. I don't think that anybody looked at Truth there and said, yes, this is the next Saw. This is the next Saw. Or this is going to be the next Grudge. No, they knew. They knew it wasn't very good. But they got the girl from Pretty Little Liars attached, Lucy Hale. It's extremely low budget. It was going to make money, like decent marketing campaign. They make money on it. These little films that they do in between, like some of them get that spark of genius, are used to, finance and do their bigger stuff, their marquee stuff. So Black Christmas is kind of coming in as a surprise. How do I feel about it? Considering it's my favorite film. I don't think it's going to be any worse than what was done with this. And this is watchable. This is not completely horrible. It's not a good film, but it's not completely horrible. It's got a attractive cast. It's decent cinematography is decent. Hey, Ken. But it's not good. It's watchable. But making a making a remake to Black Christmas with Imogen Poots, right? Poots. Could be good. I believe I'm saying that, but I got faith. I got faith that this could be good. Oh yeah. And here's the thing. Putting out Black Christmas, again, hopefully, might get Black Christmas put out on 4K. As you can see, I don't have the Scream Factory edition of Black Christmas. What I have here is the Canadian version, the Season Grievings edition, because I'm a big one. Canadian. I love this cover. It completely, well, let me show you. It completely trumps the cover that was used for the Scream Factory one by a large margin, and is a much like better representation of the film. And it's got this mini Rue Morgue magazine all about Black Christmas in here, and I really dug that, man. That was cool. Michael Myers, Billy and Michael team up, huh? As long as they remember that Agnes wasn't the killer. Billy did something to Agnes, but she's not the killer. She's not his daughter. She's not the killer. I don't want to see somebody dressed up like Agnes type thing, or that didn't work. That is one of the things that helps. Like the breather, right? A lot of references here to student bodies. Actually, Billy was probably played by a lot of people. Keir Dullea was not Billy. Keir Dullea was a different character. He is, however, the character kind of like that. He was a red herring. The person that did the nasty things on the phone that said that, like that did most of that, is actually a Canadian, I think he's Canadian anyway, actor. He's from Stingray, series Stingray. And his name is Nick Mancuso. Who one night on Facebook, I actually had a conversation with. There was a time when there was these like app games on Facebook. And I was playing one, and I had Nick Mancuso on my friends list. Nick Mancuso even stood on his head to to do certain sequences of that. And by the way, sometimes he's not saying Billy, he's saying Belial. But he took kind of offense to some of this stuff. Anyway, so I was doing a thing, and so basically it was saying like, it was one of those like, pick someone on your friend list that'll on your Facebook list that'll do this, and to like sing in public type thing. And I had to choose between two people. It was one of those things you like choose between two people. So I chose Nick Mancuso. So it wasn't like 10 minutes. It couldn't even been 10 minutes, because I was playing through the game, like picking people, like this person or this person. And so I get a message from like Nick Mancuso, and he's like, "If you ever heard me sing, you would not have chosen me for that answer." And so we talked, and I said, "I used to love your show Stingray. Didn't last long enough. I was an 80s series." And I said, "I was a really big fan of what you did in Black Christmas." And we had a little conversation. He was really cordial, really nice guy. Never ever got to meet him in person as of yet, but hopefully that's something that I will be able to do in the future. But no, I think there's nothing wrong with this remake. Do I think it's going to be great? I don't know. Do I want it to be great? Yes, I do. Of course I do. But the only thing I can say, like at the end of the day, what's it going to do? Yeah, no, Stingray basically, there's this guy, and he's got a car, like a Stingray car, one of those cars, Stingrays, and not the puppeting one. And basically, he goes in, and he's like, he catches bad guys, that type of thing. And his deal is, this is his kind of his gimmick thing, is he'll do something for you, but in the future, no questions asked. If he needs a favor, you gotta do that favor for him. That's what it is. And basically, he uses these favors to help out other people. Like, say for instance, he needs to get into he needs to like forge his an occupation or something like that. He'll go back to somebody in the radio, no, Canadian, right on. He'll go back to somebody from there and say, okay, I need the forgery type thing. And that's the thing. That's the other thing. People that may not have seen the original Black Christmas, hey Andy, may now be able to discover it because they learned about this. Because they're going to be like, there's a Black Christmas? What's Black Christmas? Hopefully, we've got to hope they're going to look at this and not say, well, this is the one with the girl from Buffy in it. Because that is bad. I kind of ragged on somebody, a fellow YouTuber, for his comments about Black Christmas, because he called it overrated, and Aaron flipped the table. Not gonna lie, he kind of flipped the table. It's gotta be opinion, right? But nope, no, I'm sorry, no. There's opinion, and then there's attacking my favorite film. It's a different thing. So let us check here. Perfect. Nope, it's not it. So, exactly, it's hearsay. Heresy. Oh, this is killing me. See, this is why you need to get ready beforehand when you're doing this stuff. I had such a freaking awesome day getting stuff done out today. I want to talk about the Vinegar Syndrome July announcements. And I did have them up here. And then it closed up on me. And I don't have them up here anymore. So I'm going to try and get up on my Twitter. Shag it. I cannot find the Vinegar Syndrome July announcements, and this is killing me. Anyway, one of them is mascara. I know that's one of the ones that are being announced. It was put up by... You ever have one of those times when you're really peeved about something? Because you got it and then it goes. So, does anybody here have the Vinegar Syndrome July announcements up? Because I had them. And I don't know if somebody took them off or what happened. But I'm trying to see if I can find them again. And, yeah, it is not working for me. Normally I'll go to my... Okay, let's try that. Yep. Isn't this fun, guys? Isn't this super fun? Like me just... Did somebody take them down? Okay, the Vinegar Syndrome July announcements were up. Just recently, actually. But I'm not seeing them here anymore. Oh, here we go. Thank God. Oh. Play Dead. Thank you. Hellmaster is coming. The Pink Ladies. And Mascara. So, which is Henry Pritchard, by the way. So there's Hellmaster right here. Play Dead. Pink Ladies. And Mascara. Now, is there either one there that you guys are interested in seeing? I know Play Dead, but I'm trying to remember Hellmaster. I know I've seen this. You know, it's definitely something up my alley. Hellmaster's got... Oh, it is that one. Yeah, John Saxon's in it. I'd get it. Play Dead is going to be fun. That's going to be a fun one. Oh, all of them this time around. I want to know the features on these. Most people, if you've ever seen Hellmaster, this is usually the VHS cover for it. As you can tell, Hellmaster probably didn't do well because it's got a crappy VHS cover that sucks. That really, really sucks. Sucks big time. Now, which are any of these adult? Let's see. Henry Pritchard might be adult. He does a lot of adult stuff, but he does really good adult stuff. Oh, it definitely is familiar. The thing I like about July is I don't think I've seen a lot of these films. So Pink Ladies and the other one, those are two adult films. So there's going to be two like horror films and two adult films on Blu-ray coming out. But we still have yet to hear what the heck is going on with the Peakorama line, which is something that they mentioned, and then they got kind of went radio silent on like what exactly is happening with Peakorama right now. We know it's being revamped. We know it's gonna be a whole new thing. It's kind of launching its own like new kind of label type thing. We don't know if it's DVD or Blu-ray. We don't know if the numbering is going to stay similar. It's going to go with the VSA type numbering, where the numbering is going to be its own thing starting over. But it'll be interesting to see where that goes. That's probably one of the things I'm most intrigued about right now. Like even if you don't like the adult stuff, it's an interesting thing to know about. It's an unknown out there right now. It's kind of like one of those little question marks. And I'm a person that revels in those little question marks. For me, I would grab all four of those. The thing that I'm waiting to hear, I want to know what the features are on those two. Now, I think Henry Pritchard, did he do American Taboo? Give you a little history for people that don't watch adult cinema. No, he didn't. I thought for sure he did. Is that Steve Lustgarten? Known for American Taboo. I have to check. Because there were 5 of these. Okay, this is definitely not the same film. Anyway, so, sorry about that. In the world of adult cinema, there is a series, a mini-series actually, called, I think it's American Taboo, Taboo American Style, something like that. And it's done by Henry Pritchard. And what is unique about it, well, is that it's actually a mini-series. So imagine like kind of a Suds, or like a kind of maybe a Dynasty or whatever Falcon Crest type thing with sex, with like obviously serious sex, done in the Taboo style lineup, with actually some decent acting in it as well. It has like this complete story arc that goes over 4 films, and you kind of got to watch them like kind of back to back type of thing, but they were really well done, and actually decently acted, like well shot, that type of thing. But Henry Pritchard is who directed it, is directing one of these films right here, Mascara. So already I'm interested in seeing what Mascara is. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Like contrary to the kind of the popular belief, I'm not somebody that's seen like a ton of adult films. I saw my share when I was a kid and stuff like that, but I wasn't studying them at that point. I didn't look at them in the same way. Now, if I look at like something like from this like 70s or 80s, and it's like adult cinema, I'm not looking at it for. I'm looking at it for a very different reason. Half the time, if it's got a really good commentary or like kind of a career interview, that's what I like. I'm boring that way, but that's what interests me in that. So let's see what we got here. I'm trying to get some information on this. The worst thing about stuff like this is there's not a lot of information on some of these films. Mascara was done back in 1983. Let's see the cast here. Justine. No, that's what he did. It's the guy that did Liquid Assets. Okay, yeah, it is an Pritchard. But we got Bobby Astor, Bobby Burns, Mistress Candace, Lisa Carroll, Lisa Kintris, Tiffany Clark, Lisa DeLue, I know her, Sean Elliott, Ginger J, Ron Jeremy, of course. Uh, yeah, a bunch of actors there. None of my favorites, no John Leslie's or anything like that, or but still interesting. We'll see. You have to basically for um, if you're like you buy like the adult titles from the Peak Rams or any of that stuff on Vinegar Syndrome, you can't go to IMDb to look for that stuff. There's actually two places to go. There's two like movie databases. Hey, 13 Wolfman. Well, I picked up this more 4K goodness. Black Christmas remake got announced from Blumhouse. Very excited about that. And Vinegar Syndrome has two horror films and two adult films coming for the month of July. We knew that two adult films are coming because some people that like the adult stuff were really upset that there was no adult stuff like before, and they said, "Don't worry, we're doubling up in July." Am I getting Andromeda Strain from Arrow? Down the road, it won't be like I like the film. It's not one that I'll grab like on the first day. Oh, perfect. Well, you haven't got your order yet? By the way, when you get your order, and Reddy did an unboxing of his. When you get your order, you're doing an unboxing, right? So we can see, because you know I love the unboxings. You know how many Vinegar Syndrome unboxings I watch and collections and views and overhauls? There's only one person, you know who that is. That's a man who's unboxing I'm never or collections I ain't never gonna watch. But I'm actually really excited about. I don't know if I'll get them right away because I'm trying to save up the idea right now is for me. Mood's still waiting. I thought Moods would have had his by now. I remember watching Mood's video from last year. He got a bunch of stuff and he grabbed the. He got Miami Connection too, because he had Miami Connection there from Alamo Draft House. But yeah, I'm super stoked about but for me, I'm saving up. So a few people are still waiting on theirs. This was their biggest sale ever. I mean, like, for a company that's only been around for going on their sixth year, they've really gotten, they've really gone there. They've really gone there. For me, I live in Canada. Mine took a few days to get here, definitely. But the thing is that it actually wasn't their fault. Once it got over to Canada, they actually sent like the post office sent it to the wrong area, so they had to like resend it back to my post office in North Sydney, and so it took an extra day or so to get here. But the Vinegar Syndrome site is still down, so they're still like getting stuff. Once the site basically once everything's out and they've like retaken stock, then we'll see the Vinegar Syndrome site come back up. So for all you that didn't get those sexy VSAs that you know you're gonna want, you know you do, that you'll definitely get them then. I am still hoping and crossing my fingers that Vinegar Syndrome for the first time might do a halfway package along with their year package in Black Friday. Yeah, that's the thing, Warlock. There's like 8 people there doing all of this. And some people like got upset and were like, why don't you hire more people? Like, no. Uh, because I worry about the quality. I know, I trust those 8 people. If it takes a little longer to get stuff out. I trust that I'm going to get it because of previous experience with with those with the Vinegar Syndrome guys there. But they're getting bigger. Yeah, The thing was that I should have been checking my once it hit Canada. I should have checked my tracking through through Canada Post. I didn't even think about it. But the day that it said out for delivery, I was like, out for delivery? Yeah, as far as I know, well, man, there's only 8 people behind Vinegar Syndrome. Vinegar Syndrome see originally started out as a restoration. They were like film restoration people, and they did an Indiegogo fund for the movie, the Herschel Gordon Lewis like Lost Films. That was their first film. That's what they originally did. And it kind of like steamrolled from there. It was Vinegar Syndrome like doing like the monthly packages and like getting around that eventually got them like to be known as the company that they are today. And in an amount of time that just blows me away to have gotten that far. Oh, speaking of companies that with announcements, Synapse has like shown that the next release looks like it's going to be Django the Bastard, and it's the first time we've heard something from Synapse in a while. Feel better, Brian. Like just rest up and feel better, so that when you come back on here, we can argue about stuff, and we can debate in that. I enjoy that. But I hope you feel better, dude. Take care. And to the Colettes who will probably watch this later, who just responded to me on Instagram, yes, yes, I did go for both 4Ks after all. And I'm going to watch probably one of them tonight after I watch, oh God, I think I'm going to watch Blue Vengeance or Disconnected tonight, actually. That's my next watch. Though I have been trying to, I want to go through all the 5 films, 5 years things because I want to do a video on here. If Would you guys be interested in that? Like talking about the 5 films, 5 years, like the films that are on those sets. Kind of like give me an overview, like the whole thing and my thoughts on them. And I started with the adult one, and I watched Corporate Assets. You watched Disconnected yesterday. I hear great things about it. I know that I don't think I've seen it, but I know that I've seen the once I saw the interior artwork, the reversible artwork, then I knew that it was I'd seen the box in stores so many times. Um, yeah, that's the way that I'm hoping to do it. It's kind of like to do it as a set at a time rather than just do like just do one. Now I know I watched Corporate Assets, which was good. Uh, it was more adulty than I expected uh, because I guess I'm used to more of the story, like more story with a lot of the films. So one that like leans more on the harder side. Uh, it's interesting. It's just makes it harder like to find stuff that to talk about, to analyze. So I'll go back over and look for different things. What's that? That's the thing. Was it Porky's? Uh, where he's got the like he's taken the principal's taken the X-rated film that that they had, and he said this thing is disgusting. I've looked at this at least 3 or 4 times. He's holding it out. It's anyway. Sorry about that. This is a family channel, but most of the time, definitely worth checking out. Yeah, it is more one of the more adulty ones, less story oriented. Well, I was surprised because there's some of the actors in it that are usually more in their story stuff. Like Harry Reams, for instance, is a guy that I see as more of a story type of adult actor because he's funny. Yeah, I've watched this frame by frame twice. Thank you. I remember as a kid like loving that line. Uh, the Porky's. If you've not seen the Porky's films, guys, they're hilarious, uh, and they're social films. Nowadays, if Shades of Black Christmas, so that's interesting. Nowadays, a lot of people would not like Porky's, and I will tell you exactly who would not like Porky's. From if you've got a friend who doesn't like Doctor Who because it's a girl, they're not going to like Porky's either. Or if you know somebody that says the word social justice warrior and they're not being ironic, they're probably not going to like Porky's either. Because Porky's is a really fun American Pie type of film. But, well, American Pie is years later. But Porky's does have a strong social conscience to it. Like, there's, like, serious, like, ramifications and things going on in the film Porky's. I just lost a couple of viewers. I hope it wasn't because of that. Uh, like, Porky's deals with anti-Semitism and, like, just, like, racism. And it's there's a lot going on there. But it's a funny movie, too. Pee-wee rocks. 3 to 7 days. I hate when they do that. It's like when you move into a new place, Warlock, and you get a call, like, because you're getting your internet and your TV, your cable, whatever, hooked up. And they're like, yeah, we'll be there on Thursday. Well, what time on Thursday? Because I got some things to do. No, you just leave it open. Just leave the day open. We'll get there. And, you're like, okay. And like 12 o'clock comes, and you're like, 1 o'clock comes, and like 3 and 4 o'clock comes. And then you're like, look, you're obviously closing in like 3 minutes. So, Mandy, actually, I did not know that. That is news to me, Mandy. I would think that if the person that bought Barnes& and Noble is smart, they're going to look back at the records of, what's doing well, what's not doing well. And as far as I know, like, I could be like tunnel vision because, like, I'm a movie collector myself, that the Barnes& and Noble, like, the Criterion sales probably did well for them, or did decently. Now, their fits per ounce sales, I'm not quite sure how how that's going to work, if they're going to continue in that vein or not. But you could very well be right in that that a change in ownership may mean a change in direction. And if we think the Barnes and Noble sales are doing well, because we buy from them, but we're movie collectors. That's what we do. We look forward to these times, to these Barnes and Noble sales and the halfway to Black Friday sales and like all these type of sales, the Kino sales, stuff like that. But sometimes we can get a little tunnel vision and not realize that there's a larger casual base outside. The people that go to Walmart, they buy movies from $5 and stuff like that. And if Barnes and Noble is making more money from the latest Dean Koontz or Stephen King novel or something like that, and they're not doing that well, or what they make for that sale just really doesn't add up to numbers that are going to be that are going to look good to an accountant, you may not get another one after the one that's coming. I do think that they'll still have the one that's coming now. I don't think, like, unless something like happens, I think that's going to happen. But it's all really going to be up to the hands of whoever owns it next. The fact that it's UK makes me trust it more. I'm partial to the UK. Although, I'm not sure if do I have any UK viewers on here right now? Because I'm going to say this. Boris. No. No. Just no. 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 Hell no. No. It's one of those. We don't need two. I want to visit your place. Don't make it hard for me. Don't do that. I love the UK. Warlock, yes. So yeah. So I woke up today, Warlock, and I looked at who was winning the by a large margin, and I was like, "This is not a good sign. This is so not a good sign." Like I don't like my channel is I got a movie channel. I don't normally talk Paul. I in real life people that know me, you know, political science was kind of my thing. I'm really big when it comes to politics. It's kind of like I'm a political news junkie. I just don't like put that on here. Though the so basically the leadership for the party in the UK. There's this guy named Boris Johnson, I think his name is, and he is horrible. That is true. But when you get the chance, if that leadership goes to that guy, then okay, I'm going to do my slight political thing that I'm never going to do on here again. But please, when you're looking at stuff like this, when election times are coming up, whether it's wherever you are, like in Canada or United States or Uganda, I don't, or their politics, just look at the issues. Don't blindly vote for a party. Just issues. Just look at, does this person represent me? If they do, and you feel confident with that, go with that. But don't do something because, and this is something, and the reason I say this is because I come from an area, like a smaller town, and people would vote based on what their parents voted and stuff like that. You feel the burn? And they would be, and so there were some people, like I had like some people that were like strong liberals or strong conservatives or strong NDP. That's like the three big parties here. Three big parties here. And they would vote because their parents voted that or their grandparents voted that. And I'm here to tell you, movie channel guys, here to say, don't do that. Like just don't just because there's the yeah, just don't. Anyway, enough of that. That just like blew my mind today. It freaked me out. It did. It freaked me out. Because I'm moving. They normally be careful what I wish for. I think that if enough people legitimately look at and study the platforms and the issues, rather than taking talking points from like their favorite news program, then what happened before, I don't want to get into it, what happened before should not happen again. And we'll leave it at that. Movies, 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 movies. I will never diss anybody for like disagreeing with me, unless it's in a hate like related type of way. I don't I don't dig with that at all. But everybody's got their own thoughts and opinions and stuff like that. That's to each his own. Um, just don't make it hard for me to get into your country. Just that's all. That's all I ask. I can't do it, Livin. I can't. I wish I could. I mean, if Arrow can beat the sale that they did last year. Now, many of you will remember that Arrow had a sale last year that kind of came out of nowhere. Not only was it a sale that came out of nowhere, but all of a sudden you were seeing movies that they thought were out of print, that they found extra copies of, like showing up at sale prices during the sale. I got to pick up John Carpenter's The Thing from Arrow Video. Beautiful edition, by the way. Great. I recommend it strongly. I think it's sold out now, but I still, it's a beautiful edition of the film, and it has the best looking cover, way better than the Scream Factory cover for The Thing. Just saying that. I love Scream Factory, love stuff to do, but some of their covers sometimes are okay, but the Arrow cover is mind-blowingly good. Now, with that sale coming up, I'm going to ask you right now, like everybody that's still on here, would you like this Saturday's video to be an Arrow-centric video? Because I can go through the entirety of my Arrow collection with you guys. We can talk about stuff that I got that I don't have, recommendations, go through Arrow, look at the different Arrow products that are out there, box sets, limited editions, stuff like that, because that's what I had planned. Thanks, Zach. What I had planned for this day, for that day, because what I like to do is that when there's a big sale from a company coming out, even if I can't participate in that sale, if I can help somebody else find something that they may not have thought about. Because it happens to me all the time. I go on and I watch your guys' videos, and I watch videos like collection videos and hauls and stuff like that. And I see stuff and I'm like, you know what? I wasn't thinking of that film, but now I'm thinking of that film. And I watch reviews, stuff from like 13 Wolfman. I watch reviews from 13 Wolfman. I watch reviews from Sarah Light Tarot comes on there sometimes. And I watched this year. I was going through Vinegar Syndrome Black Friday hauls. And I was unsure how I was going to do my Vinegar Syndrome stuff. Oh yeah, and they're coming out with an edition of Nightbreed. It'd be interesting to see what they got and like which, are they going to have the theatrical and the uncut? Like what cut are they going to have? Or what cuts are they going to have? And I found this guy, Eccentric Owl, I think his name is. And he had like this huge, like, is it the Cabal cut? Be interesting if it is, because I don't have the Cabal cut, so I would think about getting that because I got the theatrical and the director's cut. But if it is the Cabal cut, I'll buy it because I don't have it. Like if it's not, I'm not going to pick it up again. He had like a huge amount, like of the Vinegar Syndrome stuff, and right there, I was watching his video like a couple of different times, and because I watch videos over and over again when it comes to stuff like that, collection videos and hauls and that, and I'm like, he's got a massive amount. I want that for this year. I want to open up a long box of Vinegar Syndrome. I want that massive amount. That's my goal. And it wasn't before, actually. It was just, okay, I'm going to grab some of the older stuff that I want, type of thing. But, you see videos and you see like different haul videos and stuff like that, and that kind of inspires it. To try to, it's not, to be totally honest, Warlock, will they try to, it's gonna be like, Nightbreed is one of the best things that Scream Factory did, right up there with their Halloween set. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes. For sure. I mean, I can definitely see them trying to outdo what they did. Oh, Arrow and Vinegar Syndrome are two completely different beasts. I did? Excellent. Well, to be fair, Livens, you did get a Halloween box set first before we did. But it just, was unfortunately wasn't that that box set. Because my dad actually had a box set for Halloween box set from the UK, and I think it was from the UK. But it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I would love to see them get the Cabal cut. Um, Unfortunately, uh, yeah, UK for me had the best, definitely had the best Phantasm box set. Uh, and people are like, well, that Phantasm ball is just a prop. It's just a gimmick. Uh, so it must have been you got it from the UK. And maybe it was like one of those Japanese knockoff things or something like that. Because I know we got like a Friday the 13th one, and that one had like when he got it, it had like Japanese writing and stuff on it. So maybe it was one of those. Because I know that you would like get ones, and that's what it ended up coming. Because that happens sometimes. I'm aware of that actually. Um, but yeah, my dream for the Nightbreed one is going to be the Cabal cut. That will be my dream. Uh, that being said, I'll be honest with you. Theatrical cut of Nightbreed, pretty good. Uh, might be one of my preferred cuts, to be honest with you. Yeah, there's a couple being re-released. House box set is being re-released. The Ringu collection is, which sold it really fast. That's also being re-released with different artwork. I think the booklets are being taken out, just to let you know. But anybody that missed out on the House box set and anybody that missed out on the Ringu set, there's another one or two actually that are being re-released for this sale. So definitely keep an eye out. So when does the sale start? Did you say Monday? Sunday, Monday? Because I want to get my video in before the sale. So I'm thinking Saturday is when we'll do that. So hopefully you guys will all be here. Let people know. 17th, okay. I need House 4. I really, that's the one I need, like more than anyone. Like, I need House 4. It's the big one for me. The sale of Warlock, I'm going to be guessing, is on Arrow's own site. Uh, Now, I know that in the UK right now, HMV's got a buy one, get one thing going on over there, which is amazing. Um, if it gets like really good, like intensely good, I may have some sucking up to do. I don't think it's going to work, considering I still have 6 Code Reds coming and 4 more Vinegar Syndrome. Has the Arrow ever put out Unsacked Factory Release or Edition? Yeah, they did. Arrows, now they've put out a better edition of it than the original edition. Arrow's edition of Tenebrae, the first Blu-ray of Tenebrae that they put out, wasn't very good. Actually, the DVD of Arrow's original edition of Tenebrae was better than the Blu-ray was. Oh yeah, does she have an order? Um, Let me put it to you this way. Um, what happens usually is I'll screw it up somehow or not figure out how to do it. And then I'll just give her my card and she'll do it because she's magic like that. And I'm just lucky enough that I have somebody that's into cinema a bit, like not to the extent that I am, or we'd both be broken on the street. But but it's into cinema enough that she actually like says, okay, uh, there'll be times like today, for instance. I went out, I bought Dracula. That was fine. I would have been good with that. But I told her, Alien is down there, $17.99 for the 4K, and she sent me down to get it. So that's the type of person I got. That's in my life. I'm very lucky that way. But that being said, what's not so lucky is I'm not feeling well, and feeling a little bit on the pukey side. So, to be blunt. So, just to let you guys know, I'm ending this video because I'm not feeling great. But come in for Saturday. I think it's going to be Saturday. We will do a arrow video. We will deep dive. Tell you what, think of your arrow questions you got. Arrow releases that I think that you might want. Arrow releases that I don't have that I might want. Oh, she would watch Alien for sure. She loves that. She loves those type of films. We'll look at Arrow's early stuff. I'll even show you some Aerodrome and some stuff like that. And the kind of stuff that got me addicted to Arrow in the first place. And we'll see where Arrow went from good to great. I am Aaron. You are the Movie Club. I hope I don't puke. So in order to stop that, I'm going to make some tea. Thanks a lot, guys. You guys rock. And we'll do the Arrow video very, very soon.